Well, many people don't know the story about GAT-T. And I come out here to talk to people all the time, and I go all over the world about stress, and I talk about gas, bloating, and old food on the stomach. I tell people that it's a little more complicated than just gas and bloating and old food on the stomach and fat and beer belly, good eating, and love handle. You know, when I talk to people, I really go deep, and when I go deep, they really understand. Even if you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, you kind of, you know, it kind of comes to an act, because what happens is stress is in our community, and when stress comes in our community, it doesn't have a race or a color. It has what we call a ramification. Stress is the number one killer in our society, and stress doesn't have, like I said, a color. It doesn't have a number, and it's upon our society at a traumatic rate where people really are not taking cover. So what they're doing is they're reacting in a hectic capacity, where people sincerely are getting disease like high blood pressure, diabetes, fibroids, tumors, hiatal hernias. People are really not taking charge of their digestive system nor their body.
Hey, Papa, I was watching the news and they said you guys had old remedies for bloating on the stomach.
Yeah, we used to call it colic, but once we grow up, they call it beer belly, good eating. I'm going to start back calling it colic and get some remedy like GAT-T to clean you out. Have you ever had gas and bloating on your stomach? Use GAT-T. It's a stress-relieving formulated tea that's used to calm your nerve.
The body has to be fed nutrition, and when you don't have nutrition, you eat and get tired. You sleep and wake up tired. And what happens when that happens to a human body, the scientific analysis and finding is that the emotional and the social and the health of the organs, like the kidney, the liver, the pancreas, the bladder, the organs of the, the spleen, all these important organs that need to get neutralized every single day is deteriorating. Or the way I want you to see it is this: it's kind of like leaving bread in the air. If you leave bread in the air, it's going to get mold on it, and the bread is going to disintegrate and deteriorate. So what I'm talking about here is the sickness is truly in the air, because no one's teaching how to regulate the air except your great-great-great-grandmother. She told you to burp yourself. Now, if you can't burp yourself, then you know that the baby's unregulated. See, when the baby becomes unregulated, it eats and gets tired, it sleeps and wakes up tired. It's called colic. And colic means that you have gas on your stomach.
Man, the doctor said lose that midsection. I heard GAT-T gets rid of gas and bloating. My mama always told me this was colic. Now that I'm grown, I should take her advice. Stop calling it beer belly, good eating, and love handle, and go on and clean myself out. Got my stomach down and I wanted to dance around. I always wanted to do the twerk. Man, my stomach was bloated and gassed up. Get y'all some GAT-T to get rid of gas, bloating, and old food off your stomach. It's a stress-relieving formulated tea.
And when humans have gas, which 90% of the humans have impacted their digestive system because they live under stress, and stress makes you gassy, and eating makes you gassy, and sex makes you gassy, and food. I sincerely understand the concept of stress now, and I'm trying to share it with the people of the world, because what happens is people are not sharing how to regulate where you live, and what you live in is air.
Gas causes bloating, bloating causes fire, and fire causes explosion. Use GAT-T. It's a stress-relieving formulated tea that's used to calm your nerves.
The sickness is in the air, so when I breathe the air out of my mouth, if I have any virus or disease okay, I'll tell you, give you a great example. You've got your all-time high of flu season this year because people are retaining stress at its all-time high all over the world. Especially the United States, because people retain air from stress, and stress in the air has what we call condensation, which makes inflammation. Once you retain water on your body, you have poor circulation, so you cannot get rid of anything. When you retain something, that's like being in jail. It's like you can't go in or out. So retention of water simply means that you have been dehydrated. Now that you're dehydrated, you're infested. So the concept is teaching people about hydration, because being regulated is the only way you can be hydrated, because dehydration becomes from being unregulated, retaining water. And when you retain water, you get sickness like high blood pressure, diabetes, fibroids, tumors, hernias. You get congested heart failure. You get all kinds of problems on your body when you retain what we call water. Now ask your doctor, where is the water coming from? Is it from the water that, bam, we drink? Or is it from the water that you are breathing in your mouth? I guarantee you.
Herbal facial.
That's guaranteed.
Co-op baby.
That's guaranteed. Feel the groove. That's guaranteed. Keep it up, y'all. That's guaranteed.
That's guaranteed.
I can feel the nerves.
Enough! I can't put up with you anymore.
Get the guarantee. It goes down your throat.